Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placement, contact 080 368.
Hello viewers out there, you're welcome once again to Sports Orbit Extra as we continue our coverage of the 2023 Afcon on goal taking place in Cote d'Ivoire. I have Salifu Usman in the studio with me on today's edition of the program. Salifu, welcome to today's episode of Sports Orbit Extra.
Yeah, thank you, Alpha. And it appears you are beginning to see that the boys and the men being separated from being separated gradually.
Yeah, clearly, and of course, a lot of action. The round of 16 began at the weekend. Saturday it was, and of course it was Angola and Namibia who took to the pitch first, and at the end of 90 minutes it was Angola who were the first team to book their place into the quarterfinal after defeating Namibia 3-0. Interesting game it was in that one, irrespective of, don't forget that in that game Angolans, their keeper was actually sent off, having gotten a red card, and some people had thought maybe that might change the dynamics of the game, but it really didn't have much effect on the game. And the Angolans put up, a spirited performance, played a beautiful game, and at the end of the day, it was 3-0 to Angola.
Yeah, it was a congratulations to the Angola, and just like you say, they put up a very good performance. One would have expected that play in a crucial, not disrespecting to Namibia, in a crucial Afcon tournament like a round of 16, where you know that what matters is to get the victory, and you just go into the match, just 10 minutes into the match, you have a shot of player, and one would have expected that Namibia would have taken that advantage, but unfortunately the Angola stood their ground, and they were able to still have the game into their own, and even with 7 minutes later they get the first goal, and as luck will have on their side, and the Namibia on their own also committed another blunder and have their own player sent up. So it's now equal 10-10 on the 10-10 on the pitch. You have your player sent up, I have a player sent up, and that numerical advantage that Namibia have earlier was short, and unfortunately Angola take that advantage after the Namibia player was sent up, and then have equal numbers of players on the pitch, take that advantage, and then scored fantastic 3 goals. And this Angola team, I've watched Angola team match separately, but this team is quite amazing, and I must commend this particular set of Angolan players, and they have done fantastic job.
Although after that match going on, social media, people always have their different opinions. Some said, well, for them the result wasn't a surprise, because looking at Namibia pedigree wise, they even had to qualify as one of the best losers. So a lot of people expected Angola to actually go through in that one.
Yeah, although in the football, in as well as there's no more minor in the game of football, there's still to some extent still have an offset in the match. But if you say, I don't disagree with the people who are on the media that we have expected Angola to have 100% run against Namibia. What would have said the same thing? You expected Tunisia to have 100% run on the Angola. If you're looking at it, Tunisia is the third ranked African team in this tournament. They are the third African ranked team by FIFA ranking. They are, after Morocco, Senegal, they are the third best team on the continent of Africa. But Namibia came and beat them. So if you look at the if you ranking wise and by FIFA stand ranking wise, Tunisia, we expect Tunisia's team to be stronger than the Angola team. So it is not by football. It's not by just plus or minus or 1+1 equal to 1. So you can't say that because you look at Angola because of their pedigree and because of their football pedigree and say that Angola should have an easy. Any team that have qualified for this Nations Cup or a team that have also survived the first round to come to the second round, you just look at them as a pushover. So whatever you say is was the one expected, but I give kudos to the Angolas, as I said earlier, for them to have survived that, despite playing first by -1, although Namibia later have their own player set up, but still you say that no, it was an easy ride, but good that they put up a good performance and say if you see that this one, why Tunisia could have had that easy ride against Namibia. Remember they beat Tunisia in the first match 1-0.
Exactly, and of course, with that victory, they were the first team to book their place in the last 8. Of course, the other match, who not just a lot of Nigerians were looking for, but that match generated a lot of hype. It looked like every major media all over the world, who is a reputable sports media, was talking about that match. In fact, some analysts likened to that match was like Italy playing Germany or England playing Germany. So it was, the whole world was looking forward to that match.
Argentina but Brazil.
Exactly, and the match truly lived up to hype. And of course, at the end of 90 minutes, the Super Eagles had the day. For some of us, well, maybe I was being too patriotic. For me, I didn't really have any fears going into that match because for me, I predicted, watching with my friends, I predicted a 3-0 victory for Nigeria, to be honest. And thankfully, one goal was cancelled, so it was 2-0. You know, but going into that match, I really didn't express any sort of fear for the Cameroonians because if you look at the Super Eagles, some people might have said, yes, we haven't met stiff opposition. That's how I keep saying, what do you consider stiff opposition? If we could beat the host, beating the host, that was a good opposition, whichever way you want to look at it. And looking at the Nigerian side, you could say, yes, we are not scoring much goals. But everybody has saying the Nigerian side, the defense. Look, some people are saying Pesicoro might not be a good coach, but someone jokingly said on social media that truly now we believe that he used to be with Mourinho.
Packing balls.
Yes, exactly. Because you look at the way Super Eagles start, and when you see the setup, when Cameroon were playing, I said there was no way the Cameroonians were going to go past the defense. And they had no shots on target in that match. And at the end of the day, it was 2-0, which ordinarily would have even been more.
Yeah, I quite agree with you. And for the first time, Nigeria versus Cameroon, I see Nigeria going to the match against Cameroon. I was never even having any fear or having any scare in my mind because I believe that looking at the statistic and looking based on the statistic before that match and based on the current form of individual players and individual team and the team, individual as a player and collective as a team, I know Nigeria have an edge against Cameroon. And if you're looking at even at the tournament in proper, Nigeria came to that tournament yet to test the defeat and only managed to consider just only one goal. Before that match, Cameroon have considered about 5, 3, 1, 6. Have considered 6 goals. And considered 6 goals and score 5 goals. So, but Nigeria only scored 3 goals and considered 1 goal. So if you look at that, and individual players by wise, Cameroon don't have any player in the class of Osimhen in their team. And whatever you like, either you like it or not, when you have a high-profile players in your team, it gives you some advantage. You may not say what kind of advantage. You may ask me what kind of advantage. Is it advantage from the referee? No, not advantage from the referee. It gives you advantage in the sense that the defenders are always in trouble and trying to have a focus on that key player.
And you can see how he was troubling. Pesero even said it. He didn't score, but he gave the defense.
So when you are having that focus on that key players, it gives opportunities for other players to also operate. So. And I look at those, so I never have any fear that Nigeria is going to have any trouble against. I've told people say we don't need to panic about this. Even if you look at Nigeria, you're looking at our head-to-head against Cameroon. We have never in any way underperformed against Cameroon. It's just that it's unfortunate that Cameroon have out of the 25 times before that match we have beaten Cameroon 12 times. Draw 8 times, and we only managed to lose to them 5 times. And only that on 3 occasions we lose to them at the final of the Afcon. That's why Nigerian people always feel Cameroon have never have an edge against Nigeria when it comes to Iran led that game. And looking at that match there, before me and you, I think just like you say, I want to also say, I won't say I apologize, but to some say I have to. So for the first time, I have to sit here and say kudos to Pesero. So before that match, we go into that match as one of the best, one of the teams that have the best attacking forward.
Yeah.
Our worry was that we don't have the midfield. Our worry that we don't have the defense. Our worry that we don't have the goalkeeper. But if you look at this tournament now, Super Eagles teams have become one have the best defender so far in this tournament. They are the only two that are considered just one. They have the best defender, so the best defense so far in this tournament. And if you look at our back line, they like even through Afcon that we have that team have shown quality leadership. Some people, and I say some people are now even call him Captain Fantastic. That's the only name that was ascribed to.
But the other day on social media, someone even said, how come Afcon is not playing for one of the top sides in Europe? And truly looking at his performance,
yes, I'm surprised. Very experienced defender. Very calculative. Before he before he moved, he calculated his target and he get his ball well. I'm wondering that guy either is not locked, that is not playing for one of the best teams in Europe. He has shown leadership so far, and a lot of people have been calling Captain Fantastic. To me, he's one of the best players in the tournament, and Ola Hina is another revelation. Aina may not be a new player, but in this tournament have clearly shown who Aina is. He's one of the best number 2 in the world, and from what I've seen so far, calculated and moved very well. And looking at Kevin Vancin, maybe the injury to Yusuf Hassan Yusuf has not been another blessing guy to Kevin Vancin.
Deployed to the defensive
to that defensive defense, and he has hold that position very well.
Alongside with Frank Onyeka.
Thank you very much. A lot of the Frank Onyeka. So if you and even Samuel Ajayi, before now we may not have seen him as one of the best, one of the fantastic defender, but so far he has played well with the Trust Afcon. Only God knows what the tactic or the talk or the talking that person has talked to this player in this back line. I don't find any fault
at all
so far out of the 4 matches they play. I don't find any fault in the back line. The only place here I say to some extent will have a little miss, so that's is the midfield.
But even the midfield in that match, not like it, because even it will be stepped up, because even the pass that led to the second goal was. And it will be passed to Bassi.
Yeah, the ball first from Lukman to Iwobi, and from Iwobi to Bassi, and then from Bassi back to Lukman again and get the goal.
Exactly.
And yes, one thing is that when I'm saying that the only way we have an issue is that is the midfield. We are not getting enough supply from the midfield to the attacking force. I'm not talking for the defense, but the cover up. Yes, Iwobi has also trying to provide support to the defense, but his rule to provide supply ball to for the forward is up. I think that is the only area I feel the Super Eagles is lacking for now, and that is why we are not getting much goals. And I kudos to Victor Osimhen. Osimhen was so fantastic in that match against against Cameroon, just like he did against Cote d'Ivoire. He ensured that Nigeria won that match. In fact, he won that match. Yes, he might have not scored the goal, but he won that match for Nigeria against Cameroon. Looking at how he was able to cut up the ball, get the Cameroon down and then get the ball. And that's what it is. It's about ball. Football is a teamwork. Osimhen would have, and other player would have said, let me score by myself. He might have missed it. But if you say no, it's about teamwork. He take the risk and lay the ball.
Exactly, because maybe he took that in, and Lukman also being the intelligent player, made that run and open.
So instead of run, and he slowed down, try to calm himself and walk and ensure that the guy is in a better position, and he laid the ball. Ordinary some players say no, let me go. It might be dangerous. And attempt to go, they may have fallen that, but he gets and then he ensured that he won that match. So to me, so far, give kudos to the Super Eagles team. They have done so well, particularly our defense is very solid.
Of course, yesterday also. All right, let's quickly go on a break. When we come back, Sport Orbit Extra continues. Don't go nowhere. 15 minutes don't reach. Oh. Of it extra. Yes, also yesterday some other matches went down. Also, first off was the two Guineas, talking about Guinea versus Guinea, Equatorial Guinea rather. Equatorial Guinea have had a fantastic run in the group stage, but coming against a Guinean side, for me that result wasn't a surprise. But some were hoping that Equatorial Guinea were going to run over the Guineans. But if you know the Guinea's pedigree in the Afcon, for me the result wasn't shocking, and I wasn't surprised that the real Guinea actually came out victorious.
Yeah, the real Guinea actually come back. I like that way. The real
Yes,
Guinea,
because there's Equatorial, the other one
the
has
Guinea-
attachment Equatorial Guinea, Guinea-Bissau, but this is
and
Guinea.
all of them were carved out
Exactly.
of the Guinea. So
Yes.
it was one nation before that split into three. And you just like say you may not be surprised with the result going by the history of, of the two nations and their pedigree in the Afcon. But to some extent, me I'll be surprised, and there's a whole lot of Nigerians, a whole lot of people that also may be surprised looking at the fantastic performance the Equatorial Guinea have put on so far in this tournament. Having a very good run against a super team like Super Eagles, were able to force Nigeria to a 1-1 draw.
Beating the host, trashing the host,
trashing the host to the extent that even the Ivory Coast are now see themselves at the beginning of the game. They are now the one to start learning how to play the game because of Equatorial Guinea trash them 4-0 in their own home, and then in their last match in their Burkina Faso also trash Burkina Faso 3-0. So looking at having a fantastic run, coming to the against a Guinea that struggled. Remember, Guinea qualified as one of the best losers from their group, behind Senegal and Cameroon. So they finished as one of the best losers in their group. And having that team that finished as one of the best losers, and against a team that topped the group that has Nigerians and Cote d'Ivoire. One, if you have to predict, some people easily predict that they will give the match to Equatorial Guinea. But just like say, the true Guinea really show that we are the Guinea. Yeah. We are the one in the Guinea. So they really show their color. But you recall that the Guinea have played against with one man down, having one of their key players, the goalkeeper. It was like their goalkeeper that was sent off in that match, and that actually affected that. And also have the penalty. The guy that has also had a fantastic run in the tournament so far, having a penalty, and he missed the penalty. And that obviously that was their greatest onto. And then Guinea, when everybody would have expected that the match is going for extra time, Guinea saved some people from their place. So no, you don't need to waste another 30 minutes. Let's call this match, and then they get their deserved goal. And that was it.
Of course, talking about extra time, we saw the first extra time of the competition yesterday when DR Congo took on Egyptian. A long, grueling penalty at the end of the day. It was DR Congo. Talking about DR Congo, since this tournament, they are one of the sides who I'm a bit skeptical about. I call them dark horses because I won't be surprised if DR Congo gets to the last four, because they've played some really good football.
Yeah.
Since this tournament began, coming against an Egyptian side who you thought, but really for that match, for me, it was a 50-50 affair, and of course, and thankfully enough, the match ended all square, and they had to take long penalties before the DR Congo could triumph in that one, knocking Egypt out in the round of 16.
And remember, they are also, if you look at that team yesterday, before that match, both DR Congo and Cameroon and Egypt are here to win the match in this tournament. Exactly. They all played their match, draw to get to that level. And just like say, I agree with you if you describe the DR Congo as one of the...
I don't remember what the trouble they gave to Morocco also.
That was what I was trying to come in. We call them a dark horse. They are the one that have given the Morocco a reality check. So for example, Morocco coming with a positive mind, I know we are the best African team, we are the best African racket team, we are the only one team from the continent of Africa that are playing the semi-final of World Cup. So going by that, we have coming to play in Africa within ourselves will be a big much trouble for us. But unfortunately, the Congo give it a reality check, and then the Congo have maintained that standard so far, and against the Egyptian side that have played without their talisman, their main man, Salah, have to be pushed to the limit. Yesterday, strong all throughout in 90 minutes, they kept getting a goal, go for extra time still, and then go to the penalty. And at the end of the day, it was their goal as mad at last. But I'm surprised that on Thursday, it's like maybe the Egyptian, they didn't offer their prayer well. They kill cow, they sacrifice cow. So some people can be very funny about this round. There's no crime for you to sacrifice to pray for God to get a favor. So they sacrifice a cow praying to God to give them luck in the tournament. And they keep the cow on Thursday, on Thursday, and on Sunday they were knocked out of the competition.
Yes.
Either God no receive the cow, I don't have. It's not unfortunate.
Exactly. All right. Of course, the round of 16 matches commences today once again, and first up will be Cape Verde against Mauritania. Just like the Congolese, another team who I consider dark horses are the Cape Verdeans. These people have, I think, had to decipher, and they've been playing very beautiful football. And coming against Mauritania, I'm surprised that Mauritania have made it up to this
one of the
round.
best losers.
Exactly. But coming against Cape Verde this evening 6 p.m. Do you think Mauritania will cause, because if Mauritania wins this one, it will be an upset?
A big upset.
Exactly.
A big upset.
So do you see an upset happening tonight?
Well, to save your money out there, if you to save your money and not to put your money where you have a panic or you have a doubt, you easily say, let me drop my money on the Cape Verde. By every indices. By every indices, if you're looking at the pedigree of the two nations, looking at how many times the Mauritania have made it to the competition and how many times the Cape Verdean have made it to the competition, Cape Verdean have started a better run in the Afcon compared to Mauritania. And if you're looking at this particular tournament so far, apart from Senegal that have 100%, the other team that have, if you are to rating individual performance at the group stage, I think the Cape Verdean came second, close to Senegal that have 100% run. So, and the Gambia have fantastic run in the group that has Egypt, has Ghana, Egypt, Ghana, and I'm sorry, I can't remember the fourth person in that group. But here we are talking, Ghana is already at home. And they finished ahead of Egypt and they finished ahead of Ghana. When the draw was made, the prediction of everybody was that, okay, let's Egypt will easily will progress in that group, and Ghana will progress that group. Probably either Cape Verde or the other person will be able to find their way out of. But surprisingly, Cape Verde came out strong, beating Ghana, having a draw with Egypt, and then have progress as they atop the group with 7 points, and coming against the Mauritanian who struggled to qualify as one of the best losers. But sometimes football is no longer there's no more minor in the football. So Cape Verde may have the fantastic run in the group stage. Therefore, they should also have to be careful how they approach this Mauritanian guys.
Exactly. Of course, another match which most people are also looking forward to will be Senegal, defending champions, versus Ivory Coast, who are the hosts of this tournament. And for this match, for some who are thinking that Cote d'Ivoire already out, I tell them it's going to be a different ball game today, because having seen the host Ivory Coast get up to this point, I do not think how they struggled, how they played in the group stage. Today will be quite different. Two francophone countries who share a lot of similarities together, who understand each other. So I presume this should be quite a difficult game for both sides.
Yeah, I expect to see a different Ivorian tonight.
Exactly. Yeah.
I believe they might have learned their lessons. Sometimes sometimes in a life, it is not easy to have a second chance in a life.
Yeah.
When you are almost off, and God gives you another opportunity to try that you can come back. I always the journey of life is about this. That when you are dying, God gives you an opportunity to come and amend your life again. But God have given Cameroon opportunity to amend their life.
Cote d'Ivoire
opportunity to amend their life in the Afcon. And I think they will not allow this opportunity to slip off their finger. Particularly in the first instance when they are almost out, their fans reacted angrily.
Exactly.
Some of them when Gaga destroyed it went violent, destroyed a whole lot of teams. But when they have the opportunity has given them to try again, you see them will begin to jubilate. And now this opportunity that I've thrown them, I don't think the players will allow this opportunity to learn again. Don't forget that they have go out, they sack their coach, and now they have loaned their former coach. Are a red now. Who gave the coach that who give them Afcon title in 2015. After a very long time, after several attempts to win the Afcon title, they couldn't win in Renard.
But that loan deal did not work out eventually.
It's still on the pipeline.
Yeah, but from what we heard, because as of today, Renard is not in Ivory Coast yet, because from what reports we got yesterday was that the French Football Federation might not release him. So they are now looking at a former player, I can't remember his name now, who not much coaching experience, who might lead the team today. But let's see how that pans out. If before 9 p.m. today, Reynard might be allowed to coach. But
no, I think that there are some certain criteria that has to be met. If by now Reynard is not in the country,
exactly.
obviously it can be.
He can severally.
That's what I was trying to say.
Mm.
If you look at the Tunisian team of 2002 in the round of 16 against Nigeria, the main coach was COVID-19 positive.
Yeah.
And he was excused from the match. But the assistant coach, it was the main coach that take the team strong through in the group stage and managed to qualify as a but the assistant coach came and take the charge of the team and beat the team that everybody was rated as the potential winner of the cup. That was 2021 playing the 2022 against Nigeria. And if you look at this particular tournament also, the Moroccan coach was suspended in their last match. It was suspended in the last match. It was assistant coach that took them, and assistant coach gave them the result against Zambia. So it is obvious sometimes the assistant coach can be more even skillful than the main coach. But because you have someone ahead of you, there's a limit you can do. And sometimes because you have an ahead of you, you may not see the best of the assistant coach what he's doing. So the fact that the main coach has been thrown away, and even that coach, you look at it by age or everything, I don't think he even have any more. I believe it was a mistake on the Moroccan on the Cote d'Ivoire side to have even hire him in that place for this job. But just like I've said earlier, it is an opportunity that I've given to the Ivorian, and I believe from the government down to the ordinary citizen of the Ivorian, they will be singing to their player and ensure that please don't allow this to go off because you can't expect us to host a tournament, spend billions. Cameroon spend about 1 billion according to the coach. Sorry. What was $1 billion according to the ambassadors in Nigeria? This is $1 billion to put that tournament together. And in a tournament you spend $1 billion, even though we are not going to win, at least it's to approach a certain percent or a certain level that you can be able to win some prize from the tournament.
I agree with you completely. Well, this matches come up. That match will come up 9 p.m. First match will be Mauritania against Cape Verde. That comes up 6 p.m. here on Sports Orbit Extra. We will be keeping an eye on that one, and tomorrow we'll come back and give you a complete review, analysis, and also preview of the final last group round of 16 games tomorrow. Well, with that, we draw the curtain on today's edition of the program. Tomorrow we'll be back again with another exciting episode. Talifu, thank you for being on today's edition of the program.
Thank you, Alpha.
Until we come your way tomorrow, do have a lovely time. My name is Alpha Acho, and it's bye for now.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.